And for the last 10 years, she's been focusing primarily on films about agriculture and the food system. And her film, The Future of Food, has actually continues to be screened in all kinds of venues, and it has a sort of an ongoing life of its own. It's an amazing film. Without further ado, please welcome Deborah Coons-Garcia.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mindy, and thank you all for coming. It's great to be back in Victoria and also at Open Cinema. And thank you, Anne, for helping get me here. I did show The Future of Food here several years ago, which was wonderful. And as I was showing that film around, people would say to me, what are you going to do next? And so I would say, I'm making a film on soil. My next film's on soil. I'll do a film on soil. Of course, I knew nothing about soil. And at some point, it was time to actually start making the film. So I bought a bunch of books on soil, and from knowing nothing about soil, I read soil textbooks and books on soil. So I realized that soil was so complex that how could I ever make a film on soil? So then I went from knowing nothing to knowing way too much. And so I started the film, and I was out with my cameraman one of the first days we were shooting, and there was a patch of soil, and I had him set up the shot, and we had the sound man and everything else, and I said, action! And he said, there's nothing happening. And so I said, but there's so much happening. And so he looked at me. So that became the challenge, was how do you take a medium, an organism, which is soil, that is seemingly in the dark and inert, and film, which is about light and movement. How do you bring them together in a satisfying way? So I've been all over with this. I filmed composting on 4 continents. And it's really been a wonderful experience, because rather than seeing soil as a subset of agriculture, I realized that soil was its own vast and mysterious realm, and that agriculture was part of it, and that there's a lot of metaphors that we can learn from about soil and how we treat it, and that we're all part of the soil community, and that it's good for us to learn that and realize that. So I hope this film will help people become soil conscious. People who work with soil and appreciate food are soil conscious, but there are a lot of people who have no idea that soil's alive. They don't even see it. They're soil blind. So that became my role as a filmmaker, is how do we make people see soil, and how do I see it, and what do I want them to see? So I'm happy with this film. I decided to make it a symphony because soil is like a symphony. It's complex, there's many ways to look at it, and ultimately it's a thing of beauty, and it's just sort of a miracle. So I wanted to celebrate soil, but also, of course, get lots of information in there, because there's a lot of great stuff to learn about. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you stick around for the Q&A, because there's some wonderful people on the panel with me, and I think we'll have a good time. So thank you very much.